Hello, this is going to be, this is the deck that I just showed you in the last video on the Learn to Play Magic, and I'm going to do a hopefully very quick deck tech on it. I'm going to try to explain it a little so it's not too confusing. Basically what this is I took the Gleeful Flames event deck and added a little bit of stuff that I had to it, and I don't think it's amazing in any way. I definitely don't think it would really... Now, it might beat someone if you were playing for fun, but that's probably about it. There really isn't a lot of consistency to it, or... and like I said in the last video, it has a bit of mana problems. So anyway, though, let's get right into it. We have 4 Forge Devil. I'm not going to explain these too much unless I feel I need to explain why it's in the deck. Otherwise, you can just look these cards up. It's going to take too long to go into explanation on how they work. 4 Goblin Fire Slingers, 4 Goblin Arsonists, 4 Goblin Gavellers, I think is how you pronounce that. Ashmouth Hound, Hellrider, Chancellor of the Forge, Slaughter Cry, sorry. Goblin Warpaint, Curse of Stalked Prey, Infiltration Lens, Traitorous Blood, Tectonic Rift, Nightbird's Clutches, Infernal Plunge, Fireball, Goblin Grenade, Incinerate, Brimstone Volley, a Lava Axe, and I believe there's 24 mountains here. Hang on one sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, apparently there's only 23 here. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, basically I took the Gleeful Flames event deck, and like some things that were in it were like this, Hellrider, Curse of Stalked Prey, trying to think what else. Goblin Grenades were in there, and Brimstone Volleys were in there. Not all of these are the actual amounts that were in there. Like Goblin Grenades, there was 4 of them. There was 1 Lava Axe, actually, I believe. Or was there? No, I don't believe there was. There wasn't any Incinerates. There was 2 of those. There was actually 3 of those in there. I took one out and put it in the side. Didn't feel it was completely necessary. But anyway, I want to talk about what this deck really is meant to do, because I feel like it might be kind of confusing where you're seeing a lot of burn damage and equips. Basically, the main objective of this deck is there's actually 2 win conditions, in my opinion. You have your goblins that are just going to basically deal pure damage, whether they're attacking or whether they're actually dealing damage with their effects, abilities, whatever you want to call it, to take your opponent out quickly, I guess you would say. And then obviously the burn cards. Then there's a second ability of a win condition, and that's this guy works very nicely. There's equips here. There's this one, and that, but that doesn't really increase his attack power at all. It just allows me to draw when they're blocked. I think that's it for equips. Oh yeah, this one up here, sorry, Slaughter Cry. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to increase this guy, like, let's say you have a Slaughter Cry on Goblin Gabbler. It's going to increase him +3/+0, and he gains first strike until the end of the turn. So his effect already has that he's trample, and that he gets, for each equip, he gets +2/+0. So that's going to make him a 6/1, I believe, with trample and first strike. That's amazing for the cost of like 4 mana, if you're going to do it all at once anyway. So I mean, basically, you could basically get this out turn 3, maybe even turn 2, depending on if you're really lucky on mana. It'd be pretty impossible to get it out turn 2, but turn 3 I could definitely see it. And your opponent's going to be taking 6 damage. I mean, he's got trample and first strike. There's not much they're really going to do against that. Obviously, they could hit you with something. A Dismember would really screw that guy over, but yeah. The other thing is you have like your Your Hell Rider, he has haste, so you can get him out and then slap and equip on him to attack in for a large amount, larger than 3 anyway, right away with his haste. And I haven't actually experimented with the Chancellor too much. Sorry, you can't see that I lifted it up too high. With the Chancellor, I haven't experimented with him too much, but basically he's kind of like a, you know, the game has gone on for a really long time and I draw him because of the high mana cost, and I'm like, oh crap, you know, I might die, so I'm going to play this guy because he's a 5/5, he's a pretty good sized beater, and he's going to get me goblin tokens out, which don't really help this deck out at all in a way that would be to an extent of where they're really the main idea. It's more of like a plan B, in case you're screwed. The burn cards consist of Fireball, Goblin Grenade, Incinerate, Brimstone Volley, and a Lava Axe, and did I miss anything else? I don't believe so. No. So basically their job is going to be obviously for pure damage to your opponent for the most part. Every great once in a while you might put it onto a creature in case he's giving you some problems. But yeah, that's basically the extent of the deck and what it's supposed to do. Again, these are in here for draw power because I have a problem with mana, so I needed to draw, so I left 2 in here. And then I also have an Infernal Plunge. I find it worth it. I guess you could look at it in a different way, but you're paying 1 to get 3 mana, but you have to sacrifice a creature, I believe. Yes, sacrifice a creature to actually get those 3 mana. But if you really think about it, if you need those, let's say you have 2 creatures on the field and you need a lot more mana to get like something like you know, a Hell Rider or even a Chancellor out. Sacrificing a creature is going to be completely worth it if you're bringing either of these 2 guys out, in my opinion. I mean, if you're sacrificing something like a Forged Devil or even a Goblin Arsonist would be even better, because then it can deal 1 damage to someone when it dies. That would be like your key card to really sacrifice to get a Infernal Plunge to work properly, if you can really say properly. Yeah, I mean, you'd be dealing 1 damage to a creature or a player or whatever. I believe it's yeah, both, yeah. And then you get 3 mana to bring one of these guys out and possibly put an equip on them and probably go for game in a sense, especially if you get Chancellor out. That's basically game. So that's why I find Infernal Plunge worth it. I'm going to show you guys a very quick rundown of my sideboard. It's not too, didn't really change much from the actual sideboard they gave you, but let's see if you can see this. You got 2 Gut Shots. You have 4 Arc Trails. The reason there's Gut Shots are in here in case I'm going up against a lot of low stuff, like things with 1 for a toughness. I'm going to throw those in there so I can just pay life rather than having to pay mana to get them out of there and then pay mana for my other stuff that I really need to use. And then Arc Trails, again, the 4 of them are basically in there for basically tokens and things like that is basically what they're for, because they're going to deal the damage to 1 token and then to another, so you're going to have 2 tokens you kill with these guys every time if you're using them for that. Dismember, there's 1 in there. Sorry, I don't know if I'm really bad at this holding it because my camera's all screwy. Anyway, 1 Dismember's in there for the purpose of basically taking out your big beat sticks in case you're having any problems, because this deck really doesn't have an answer for anything. If someone brings out something like a 5/5 or higher, it really has absolutely no answer for it. So Dismember really lays that answer down for it. Shrine of the Burning Rage, very good card in a red deck. I only have 1. This is basically cards that I have, so yeah, that's why I say it's not really a skillful deck that would win you much. In my opinion, you should be running 3 or 4 of these if you're going to actually be playing this deck seriously. And then we have Into the Core. It exiles target artifacts, two target artifacts actually, not just 1, for the cost of 4 mana. So I mean, this deck, I haven't really come into contact with any artifacts with it yet, but I suppose you could, and these would come in handy. And then these last few I'm actually in question of whether they're going to stay in here or not, but there's actually 3 Solemn Sacularum, sorry. And those are basically to get more lands out, and when they die I get to draw a card, so again, more draw power, getting to my lands quicker. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those or not. And then another Infiltration Lens in case I feel that I need more of those to equip to more creatures. I have a third one here to side in if I need to. So that's basically the extent of the deck. Yeah, it's kind of complicated at what it's trying to achieve, because it has like 2 to 3 different win conditions it can really pull off. The easy one to pull off is to basically attack into your opponent with equips. The ones that aren't so easy to pull off is direct damage, or dying by damage from these creatures of the 1 damage or so they're going to be dealing would be very tough. That's actually why there's a fireball in here. That's bad glare, sorry. No, that's a lot of bad glare. I don't even know if you guys can see that. But there's a fireball there. Basically the reason for that is that's like, you know, I've got like, let's say I have like 6, 7 mana out, maybe more, and I've got absolutely crap that I can do when I draw a fireball, and I'm like, okay, this is game, and I play a fireball. Otherwise, in a normal deck where you don't have a fireball, you draw something and you're like, oh, well, can't really play this, or it wouldn't really change the game, so I lost. But with a fireball, you just won the game, basically, if you draw it at the last minute. So that's why I threw it in there. I put 1 in. I had 4. I thought 4 was a bit of an overkill because it's a lot of dead draws if you don't need them at that point in time. I find it stupid to waste that much mana. Fireball is like a last minute thing of like, you're going to die unless you throw off this fireball. So that's why I only have 1. I may end up running 2 depending. I'm not sure yet. So that's basically the deck, and that's the sideboard. If this deck is actually really cheap to make, because all it basically was, like I said, is it's got some Dark Ascension in it, and Innistrad, and then it has the of cards that I had anyway, and then it has that event deck. So it was really cheap, because I think I bought the event deck for like 20 bucks or something like that, however much it was, 25, something like that. And then the rest of these cards I had because I got them out of packs. So it was really cheap. It was probably way less. I would say at the most this deck is like a $25 deck, maybe $30 if you're going with hollows. Like I have 1 hollow here. So that's it, and see you next time.